Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Phill and Will Show. I'm William here.
And I'm gay.
That's Philip. Okay.
Yeah, it's me, Philip.
Today we're gonna have a guest star here to talk about some things in a new segment we like to call Habits and Hobbies and Happy Things. So here today we have Gavin Mullins. Hey, Gavin. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, let's just jump kind of straight into it. What's some of your hobbies?
So past few years, obviously, I've been really into comic books. But recently, mainly to impress a girl I work with, I got really into film.
Of course.
But it turned out that I actually enjoyed the medium as on its own merits. So I ended up getting more invested in it personally.
Okay.
Especially as things didn't work out with that girl from work.
Right.
So still into that. It's kind of become my main interest. So 2017 is definitely the year I got into film.
Okay. So, can you kind of elaborate on that? Like, what's getting into film? Is it like going to the movies once a week, or I don't know. Like for me, watching a film is I get bored one day and I turn on the TV and there's a movie I feel like watching. What's getting into film?
It's not even going once a week. With Movie Pass coming out, paying $10 a month to go to a movie a day makes it so much easier to get to the theater and see the things that you never would have been interested in before. Like, just like The Commuter, the new Liam Neeson movie. Never would have paid $15 to go see that, but I went and saw it and didn't hate it. So I appreciated that. And it's just watching things that you didn't think you wouldn't have sought out before. Like, used to be I would watch almost exclusively superhero movies, especially at the theater. That was really the only thing that would get me out of the house to watch a movie. But recently, it's just become more about not paying as much attention to reviews on things. You know, you go through Netflix, you'll see, oh, it has 2 stars. But I've become more attentive to, do I like the way it sounds? Do I like what the director has done? Do I like one of the actors in the movie? And it just like has opened up my eyes to different ways to find interests in film. Like,
Right.
Phantom Thread that came out this year. Never would have seen that, a year ago. But the past year, I've watched Paul Thomas Anderson films and watched Daniel Day-Lewis performances, and it's just, I went and watched it and it blew me away. It was incredible.
Well, I know for me and Philip at least, we have Movie Pass, and I don't know about Philip because he doesn't see very many movies, but for me, I have been going to a lot more than I would have.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I love it. Mm-hmm. Like, I went and saw Thor Ragnarok, I think, 4 times, which you're not supposed to do with the Movie Pass, but
you can, so.
It's Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. Though. So, no, that's been really cool, though.
Same thing with that. The reason I was most excited for Thor Ragnarok wasn't even that it was a superhero movie. It was because of the director, Taika Waititi. His other films are incredible, and some of my favorite. Hunt for the Wilder People, Boy, What We Do in the Shadows, all 3 incredible films. And
yeah, I haven't heard of any of those.
Yeah, so they're all New Zealand. Thor was his first American movie. I know you guys like Flight of the Conchords. He actually worked with... Right. He has a movie, Eagle vs. Shark, with Jermaine in it, that I haven't seen, but apparently pretty good. But he wrote, I think, some for Flight of the Conchords, too. So he definitely knows. It's that style of humor that he has. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you guys should check those out.
That's really cool. Yeah. Well, Gavin, so now when you're going to a movie, since you've seen so many, what do you walk in expecting? Since you've seen so many good movies, do you walk in like with low expectations for the movie, or what's kind of the process when going to a new one?
I really don't come in with expectations anymore. I went to watch Hostiles last night. I came in, I was like, okay, I love Westerns, but I mean, it has the opportunity to be very bland genre, especially with this plot. It's very Lord of the Rings-esque, where it's all about walking from New Mexico to Colorado, or from there to Wyoming, actually. And so it had the opportunity to become very bland, but the performances from Christian Bale and Rosamund Pike really just elevated it to a whole other level, and it blew me away, honestly. and it was from a smaller studio that like the next two movies they have coming out, they played the trailers and they don't look good. Like they have the Hurricane Heist from the director of the Fast and Furious and Triple X. Doesn't look good, but it looks enjoyable. So I'm going to definitely watch it because I like the dumb fun movies just as much as I like the serious drama films, you know, like The Commuter. Also, The Commuter was like a whole metaphor for how capitalism is bad, which I appreciate. Same thing with the Paddington movies. The first Paddington Bear movie, definitely a metaphor for immigration. The second one, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to see it this week, I'm pretty sure it's a metaphor for Brexit.
So,
and very excited about
the
that.
Paddington #2 has been one of the top-rated movies on IMDb.
The highest reviewed film on Rotten Tomatoes. Beat out Lady Bird, that beat out Toy Story 2. So.
Right, that's insanity, too.
Yeah.
It's a bear. Like, it's a children's movie.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Which I don't know if that speaks more to the directing or the writing style. But another question I have is, do you get bored now? Because, I don't know, some movies I go to, I just get bored.
No. Because, you know, when you watch a lot of films, you start to pick up on, it's not necessarily, oh, that was a good story, that was a good performance. Like Blade Runner 2049, probably my all-time favorite movie. And one of the main reasons is the cinematography. Just the shots that Deakins set up. And the shots he set up his entire career, going back and watching his older movies, are just amazing. And just like the way Villeneuve directs it and the way he uses color, the way him and Deakins use color, and you know, the dialogue in that movie is scarce. There's not a lot. Most Ryan Gosling movies, he really doesn't talk much. Drive, Place Beyond the Pines, and Blade Runner. Him and Tom Hardy are both just incredible with just their eyes. You know, they can convey so much. So that movie just blew me away because of how almost simple yet insane it was. You know,
I think for me, what I'm not very good at in movies is I didn't appreciate Blade Runner 2049. Is I think because I don't notice those kind of things. So I walk in thinking, all right, you know, action movie, let's get some people shot.
Right.
Let's have some plot points where, you know, the main character gets developed a little bit and shoots some people,
definitely
falls in love.
Not an action movie.
No, 100% not.
Definitely not. They don't tell you anything about the plot of that movie. You have to watch it. That's a movie you have to watch. You can't, like, listen to. You can't walk away for 15 minutes and come back and understand what's going on, which I appreciate because I like a movie that makes me watch it. Like today I watched The Prestige, which is Christopher Nolan directing, and Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale. It's incredible, but you have to watch it because the plot, it's both the time frame of it, the timeline of it jumps around, and don't want to tell you guys about it because it'll give it away, but like it just gets insane at a certain point. David Bowie plays Nikola Tesla, which is cool as hell, but Andy Serkis is in it. I know you like him.
Yeah,
he's like Tesla's assistant.
That's great.
But yeah.
Huh.
So just a movie that makes you watch it is something I really appreciate, and
That's
it's
really
not,
cool.
you know, you can't like look away or close your eyes because you're gonna miss something important. Like especially in Blade Runner, because I know I watched it with my parents. At the end, my dad turned to me and was like, "I don't get it." I'm like, "Well, what don't you get?" And he's like, "Well, who is he?" And I'm like, "Did you watch the movie?" Yeah. I'm like, "No, you were doing a crossword puzzle on your phone for like 30 minutes at one point, so that's why you didn't get the movie." But haven't talked to him since that.
Interesting. Dads, man.
They're the worst.
Okay, well, Phil, do you have anything? Any questions about Gavin's movie habits, hobbies, or
happy things?
Happy things?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not the sort of person that has ever been into movies.
Well, the interest has always been there for me because my dad was above average when it came to being a film watcher. Like, I've watched Clerks from a very young age. And
I think everyone should watch Clerks. The
story just behind him making that movie, you know, he sold his comic book collection, Kevin Smith did, to fund it. He had to shoot it in black and white because they couldn't afford color. It's literally just him and his buddies acting out a screenplay he wrote at a convenience store in New Jersey. And it just goes to show that I think anyone can make something like that because it became like a cultural thing, you know, and like growing up, I've grown up with it, and as time goes on and I've had service jobs like that, I rewatched it recently and I was like, I relate to this so much more than it's not just a funny movie anymore. It's like, that's Dante's character is like very similar to what I'm going through in my life right now.
Right.
And it's, but,
right.
And the fact that he kind of built this whole thing off of the success of that one movie is really impressive. That,
I don't know. For me, it's kind of nice because it's the one redeemable quality for New Jersey.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Well, it's not too bad.
No.
No, Clerks, when you made me watch it, it was just eye-opening that there was film out there in black and white that I could enjoy that wasn't...
And it's crazy that now it would cost you more to film in black and white because the advancement in color technology that's run-of-the-mill cheap, but if you want to film in black and white, it's going to cost you more. So just in the 20, 30 years since that movie came out, just the developments that they made, I read whenever they make a movie, they don't buy the equipment. They have to rent it because by the time you finish filming, everything you're using is obsolete.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
So when they made The Room, the greatest, worst movie of all time, Tommy Wiseau bought all the equipment. And they were like, what are you doing? He also shot it in film and high definition at the same time, which was unheard of because you have to have two completely set of crews to use either of those equipment. And it just made no sense, but who knows how it cost $6 million to make that movie and he just paid out of pocket. It's ridiculous. I don't understand, but I'm so glad he did because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah.
Wow. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, I know for me at least, since you got me kind of a little bit into movies, I don't know, some of my favorite movies used to be Avatar because of the color and the
right, yeah,
fighting.
Avatar's a beautiful movie.
I don't know, but now I feel like my movies experience have kind of developed a little bit.
Yeah.
So now some of my favorite movies are Shawshank or some of those more high quality movies.
And the hard part for me now is I need to go back and watch like more classic films. Like I haven't watched many movies before like 1990 if I'm being completely honest. I mean, I have watched old movies. I went and watched Treasure of the Sierra Madre at the theater the other day, and that's from 1948. Humphrey Bogart, and it was really good in black and white, but because they didn't have color technology.
Right.
And then even going back and watching like old westerns with John Wayne, stuff like that, Kubrick movies, Clockwork Orange, Suspiria, which is, I again watched it to try and impress the girl from work. It's an Italian horror movie that they played on Halloween, and I was like, oh, yeah, kidding me? Dario Argento, he's fantastic. Of course I'll go watch it. And it was just cheesy because every horror movie is cheesy.
Of course.
Like the part where she's in a room and the guy's trying to get in, and so she's like, oh, I'm going to climb through this window, but I'm not going to look into what room I'm jumping into, so she jumps into a room full of barbed wire. Like, yeah, it's disturbing because she's writhing around in barbed wire, but you can tell it's clearly fake, and like it's kind of funny at this point, but it was still just a great film. And then outside of that, like the only old movies I've watched are like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Airplane, and Mad Max. It's not like, so that's the hard part. Like going back, like, and watching those is something I need to get better at. But like, especially in the year of 2017, I watched almost every major release, especially from like May on, just because I had the movie pass. I had someone that was like telling me, hey, you should go see this, and I did.
Right.
And so, like you go through my Letterboxd, you're like, okay, it's sparse up until this year, and almost half the films I have logged on here are from 2017.
Yeah.
And it's just like from big stuff, you go from, Star Wars and Logan to the smaller stuff like Super Dark Times, which I didn't even watch at the theaters. Watched that on Netflix, but Patty Cakes. Loving Vincent, which was incredible, Good Time, stuff like that. Anything A24 puts out, I'm definitely going to go see, regardless of, I'll know nothing about it, but if you have A24 attached to it, I'm going to go watch your movie.
Sure.
The Florida Project, probably one of my favorite movies of this year. The fact that Willem Dafoe might not win Best Supporting Actor Oscar is going to piss me off. Or the fact that Stuhlbarg didn't get nominated for Call Me By Your Name pisses me off. Like, this is the first year I'm going to watch the Oscars and, like, know what's going on, and I'm already pissed about it. I mean, James Franco not getting Denzel getting nominated over James Franco for Best Actor irritates me. Now, I did like the Denzel movie. It was really good.
The Denzel movie?
Roman J. Israel, Esquire. It was written and directed by the same guy that did Nightcrawler. Have you seen that?
A little bit of it.
So that same, style, and it was really good, but James Franco and the Disaster Artist did a fantastic job. And so the fact that he isn't, and then he won the Golden Globe for Best Actor, but isn't getting nominated for the Best Actor in the Oscars, which I understand. Like, he has like some shit going on, like allegations against him, and like I understand that, but I mean, if he's a shitty person,
yeah,
he shouldn't win, and like he probably is a shitty person. He's definitely weird.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter if you're a shitty person. It matters if you're the best actor.
No, I think it definitely matters if you're a shitty person. Like, if Kevin Spacey showed up at the Oscars, it'd be a big fucking deal. Like, no one would be happy about that. Sure. You know, even Casey Affleck was like, yeah, I'm going to go, but I'm definitely not going to present. Like, he was going to present Best Actress. I'm like, really? Gonna Casey Affleck present?
What happened with Casey Affleck?
Oh, he's shitty.
He's
an abuser and a...
Well, I knew he was a drug abuser.
No, he's a woman abuser.
Oh, woman abuser.
Yeah,
that's even worse.
No, he's kind of a sexual deviant.
If he was like a drug abuser and alcohol abuser, then yeah, he's an Affleck brother.
Yeah,
easily.
Ben's probably shittier than we all know too.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if most of our viewers know or listeners know. You have a rom-com wall.
So me and my roommate. So let's see. What did we watch? Me and my roommate Cam watched something. Oh, The Big Sick that came out this year, and it was Kumail Nanjiani, based on his true life story about how he met his wife. Fantastic movie. Ray Romano, Holly Hunter, great performances. But we watched it, and he was like, "I want to watch more movies like this." So we did. We watched a few more. Crazy Stupid Love because I love Ryan Gosling, so I was gonna watch any rom-com with Ryan Gosling.
You have to watch Crazy Stupid Love.
No, I have.
No, I mean like.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, everyone should watch that movie.
Has to.
There's a scene in that movie that I would honestly put in like the top 10 scenes of cinema from the past 15 years. But so eventually we came up with the idea of ranking all of the rom-coms on both their romantic on one axis and comedic on the other axis, and we have maybe like 30-something movies on it now. We have a list of like 200 we're trying to get through. And so we actually, my roommate tweeted a picture of it to Kumail, the person who inspired us to do this. Right. And he responded. He was like, "That's incredible. I love this." And so now we have a sign next to it, and it was like approved by Kumail Nanjiani. And so it's just...
I saw that tweet from Cam. It's got like...
Yeah,
800 like, something.
Yeah, 800 likes on it or something. It like people are like, and then that motivated people to come at us like, "Oh, is this on the list? Is this on the list?" We're like, "No." So we've put like more like non-traditional stuff on there, like Juno, which was always one of my favorite movies, is a rom-com. Anything that has like when you look at the genre tags and says romance comedy, it's a rom-com to us. Mm-hmm. We qualified as that. Like we watched 500 Days of Summer yesterday, and it didn't really score high on romantic or comedic, but it's still a great movie.
Yeah.
But it's very depressing, so it obviously isn't going to score high on either of those.
Mm-hmm.
I think the worst one we've watched is What a Girl Wants, which is Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
But like peak Amanda Bynes, you know, like early 2000s. But also Colin Firth is in it. And at one point delivers the line, "I don't give a flying font what you think." And it is terrible. Like he did his best, but there's not much you can do. And like it got like weirdly racist. Like at one point, like she's trying to hang out with the guy, and this like snooty, like uppity British dude is like, "Don't hang out with that mixed race mongrel."
Oh God!
I'm like, Jesus Christ! And it ends with him groping a woman, and everyone laughs it off like it's a joke. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, This did not age well, you know. So it is actually negative below the graph. That's the only one. I mean, there have been some stinkers on there, but that one is definitely the worst.
Philip, what's some of your favorite rom-coms?
The Big Sick.
Really?
Did you watch it?
Because, yeah, I watched. That's the most recent one I've watched.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I haven't.
What If? Have you ever seen that? Mm-hmm. Daniel Radcliffe and the girl from The Big Sick. So she was gonna retire from. She's been in a few rom-coms. She's dating Paul Dano. Fun fact.
Whoa.
But and she was in one with him, Ruby Sparks.
I didn't know Paul Dano was dateable.
Yeah. Oh God, have you seen him recently? It looks bad. So have you seen Christian Bale trying to look like Dick Cheney? So Paul Dano looks like that, but he's not trying to look like Dick Cheney.
Oh, poor Paul Dano.
Like his mustache, but he's like at Sundance, and it's Paul Dano. He can get away with whatever he wants, and I won't mind. But yeah, Daniel Radcliffe and her, and it's good. But yeah, she was gonna retire from rom-coms because she's been in quite a few of them until she read the script for The Big Sick. She's like, "All right, back on my bullshit. I'm getting in on this," and it was great.
When did you watch The Big Sick?
A week or two ago, I'd say.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because I didn't watch it with you.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd has some really good rom-coms. He's like, I think of him more as a comedic guy, which like he is in all the rom-coms, but he's been in like 10. Like he has one. Like,
okay,
like,
would you count his movie on Netflix.
Fundamentals
The
of
Fundamentals of Caring as a rom-com.
But he's not.
I wouldn't
the
count it as a
romantic
rom-com.
one.
No, there's no romance in that. Not
Well,
at, well
not
between
between
yeah,
Selena
Selena
Gomez
Gomez
and the girl and the guy.
Craig Roberts. Yeah.
Like I'm trying.
Yeah. So basically, what I do is I go on Letterboxd, I search the movie, and if the tags say romance comedy, it's a rom-com.
Okay.
But yeah, like we watched. Oh God, This Means War. Reese Witherspoon, who I love with my whole heart, but that movie was bad. So
What did we watch? Reese Witherspoon.
Home Again.
Home Again.
That was good.
That was really
yeah.
good.
She's really good at rom-com.
Wow, I didn't.
But
expect
yeah,
that to
this
be
one
good.
it's This Means War. So it's she's something. But Tom Hardy and Chris Pine are best friends, but they're like secret agents, and they both end up dating Reese Witherspoon, and like
What?
they kind of like
I remember
conspire.
seeing trailers for that.
Yeah, it's
And
bad.
I was like, what is going on?
So first of all, I'm going to spoil this one because I don't think anyone should watch it. She doesn't even end up with Tom Hardy, which is the wrong decision. If you pick Chris Pine over Tom Hardy,
you gotta
you're,
end up
you're
with
wrong.
Tom Hardy. What are you doing?
Like, and it like Chris Pine was shitty in that movie. Like he was not the guy she was supposed to end up with, and still ended up with him and not Tom Hardy. But Tom Hardy ended up with like his ex that had his kid. So like it was a happier ending. I feel like for Tom.
Right.
Like I don't. It's like, it's so hard for me to like remember characters' names. Like any movie Tom Hardy's in, he's just Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Like Dunkirk. I don't know what anyone of the characters like. It's Harry Styles, Cillian Murphy, and Tom Hardy in that movie.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. For me, in that movie, he's that badass pilot that saves the day.
Yeah, that's true. God, that movie's so
Oh.
good. But and like even going back and watching movies I used to enjoy, and like where I've watched more, it's kind of like I watched Friends with Benefits. When I watched it the first time, I was like, "This is incredible."
That's
Justin
my
Timberlake.
favorite rom-com.
Not as good anymore. Like go back and watch it, and it did. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me the second
Really?
time. So there's the other movie, No Strings Attached, which is I guess the same plot line. Still need to watch that one, but it's Ashton Kutcher, which is interesting because it came out first, but still like Ashton Kutcher's in one, Mila Kunis is in the other, and that's fun.
Right.
But
They were a thing, weren't they?
they're married right now. I think
Oh,
they
whoa.
have children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
So
have I
yeah,
been?
kind of a thing.
Yeah. Nah, I mean,
I think
that's
since
whatever.
That
Yeah.
70s show.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's see. And like another one, like 500 Days of Summer, that wasn't very romantic or comedic, but was a pretty good movie. Was Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. It was Michael Cera and Kat Dennings, and it was really good. But like, there wasn't a lot. The comedy was high because every time I look at Michael Cera, I just giggle a little bit. 'Cause he's just a funny looking guy.
Right.
And I appreciate it. Like it's good. It worked. Some people don't like Michael Cera, and I don't understand that at all because he's good.
Well, Gavin, we have a couple more minutes here.
Okay.
I want you to give me your top 5 movies of all time.
Okay. Easy. Zodiac, Blade Runner 2049, Nightcrawler, Lars and the Real Girl, A Ghost Story.
I have heard of 2 of those movies.
And we talked about 2 of them already today. So anything with Ryan Gosling, I'm gonna love. He is my favorite actor. There are plenty of Ryan Gosling movies I haven't watched yet that I refuse to watch because I don't want to have watched every Ryan Gosling movie.
Really?
Yeah. Like, hold on. Take Nightcrawler out and put Drive in because I was just looking at Nightcrawler. But yeah, Drive.
Okay.
Drive is my all-time favorite movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my God.
Have you seen it?
I think I've seen the first 15 minutes.
So Gosling has like 10 lines the whole movie. Oscar Isaac is in it.
Is that the one where he's just driving, or is that Tom Hardy?
No, that's Locked with Tom Hardy where he's in the car the whole time.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh my God. But yeah, Drive, all-time favorite movie. I just listened to the soundtrack. The soundtrack's incredible. It's like pseudo 80s synth pop and it's amazing.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Gavin, this has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thanks for being our very first guest.
No problem. You need to watch Drive. Both of
Okay.
you.
We'll watch Drive.
Okay.
Philip, you have anything else to add? Say anything to our viewers, listeners, like a couple of viewers.
Nope. Yeah, I got nothing.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. This has been a Habits, Hobbits, and Happy Things. Hobbits.
Bad
Hobbies.
movies. Hobbits, bad movies.
Damn it. Okay. This has been a Habits, Hobbies, and Happy Things segment on the Phill and Will Show. We're signing out here. We'll talk to you later. Talk to you later. Talk to you later.